We are your #1 Weekend Eswatini on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Lalela Tina, we will definitely get back to you. This is your official weekend party starter.
I don't wanna go around singing songs that people don't want.
I do the most.
Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Asimze sinemukele sitobukati zabatefu tekcala. Mvanankulu Cleopas Dlamini uthi uhulumende utimisele kusebenzisana netinhlangano netinyonyane tetisebenzi kude kube nebudlelwane lobuhle emkhathini wetisebenzi nahulumende ngaso sonke isikhathi. Mvanankulu bekakhuluma ehotela lase Mountain View eMbabane ngalesine la kusayinwa phinze kwethula luhlelo lwaseSwatini lwemisebenzi lengalulati bantfu i-Decent Work Country Program.
Bubukeka buthuthuka futhi butawuba buhle budlelwane nomkhathini wahulumende netinyonyane netinhlangano tetisebenzi kulandzela kusayinwane kwethulwa kweluhlelo lwaseSwatini lwemisebenzi lengalulati bantfu phecelezi i-Decent Work Country Program. Mvanankulu Cleopas Dlamini akhuluma kulomsebenzi wekusukumisa lohlelo kuleli usi live selibukete kabusha imithetho lengamashumi-33 lebukete indzaba tetisebenzi.
Government has also reviewed various other legislative instruments which are not necessarily labor related in an effort to comply with recommendations of the ILO supervisory bodies, which requested the country to align this legislation with ratified international labor standards. Some of the policy instruments and action programs have been promulgated by government to give effect to ratified international labor standards, social dialogue structures, to give purpose and effect to the spirit of social dialogue and tripartism on labor and employment related matters.
Into 97 nenhlala kahle phela buthelezi ithi nanoma-ke kungakabi lula kodwa-ke live liyetama kwenta ngcono etindzabeni tetisebenzi.
Part of what we've traversed upon during that induction process was the whole concept of decent work and social justice as advocated by the ILO and promoted through the Decent Work Country programs.
Umcondzisi wenhlangano yetisebenzi kamhlaba lapha eSwatini nase-South Africa naseveni leBotswana Dr. Johnny Musabayana uthe lokusayinwa kuchaza ukuthi bophelela kwelive ekusebenteni lokungekho eSwatini.
Harmony is a labor market. In the labor market is not a given. It has to be worked for. It has to be a deliberate act. And part of that, of course, is when the social partners say, we were involved. That means they are on the table.
Tinhlangano netinyonyane tetisebenzi lebekufaka ekhatsi ibhizinisi eSwatini First to Koswa neFirst balujabulele luhlelo loluthembisa kushintsha kwesimo sekusebentela nekunakeka kwetikhalo tabo teminyaka. Kubeka Kiyani Msibi nasimuva Shongwe, sisa Mountain View eMbabane.
Iphinila Mvanankulu Themba Masuku lithi inombolo yebantwana bendlunkulu solo iyachubeka nekukhula kodwa uhulumende naye uyachubeka nekusukumisa tinhlelo letibukele inhlala kahle yabo. Masuku bekakhuluma ngesikhathi kuhleli indlu yetimpunga ngalesine.
Ngesikhathi indlu yetimpunga ichubeka nemsebenzi wendlu yelisuku ngalesine, impunga Mkhululi Dlamini icelele indlu lehloniphekile ukuthi liphila Mvanankulu Themba Masuku selithulele lendlu kuthi engabe bantfana bendlunkulu noma ke ema-offices lasekelwa nguye uhulumende timpilo tabo setishinje kanganani bakuphi futhi. Kanti impunga Mkhululi Dlamini yesekelwe ngumphane Nkosi Mshengu kule ndzaba.
Lithi ke lami DPM uyabadini ukuthi bakuphi labo bantfana nyalo labakhe. Uyadini ukuthi bendani nyalo labakhe. Ibuta lokho nje le motion ukuthi DPM asakasifunele ukuthi labantwana noma phela bakhe yebo ngaloko ukuthi ngiyolala Kejab bethu sonke labo bantwana.
Indlunkulu ngoba ikhona lapha phansi ayiside lokho ukuthi labantwana batholakala.
Liphinde Ndvunankhulu impunga Themba Masuku ibese yetfula yona indlu ehloniphekile timphendvulo.
Currently sina 42 wema residential homes. Just bantu nje laba sigcinela labantwana. 42 lana registered Aswati la semeneni nase sivile singahamba siye khona kunebantwana labaphatheke kahle perfectly kulawo makhaya lawo labanye bafunza both languages uyamangala fluency yabo kuleto tindzawo leto.
Liphinde Ndvunankhulu Themba Masuku kubheke ukuthi letfulele lendlu lehloniphekile umbukelo ogcwele ngalena ndzaba ngamalanga langabe ngamashumi Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Samkeliswe Khoza nginasikhumbuzo Dlamini sisephalamende.
Indvuna yetemafa Nilo-Rickenburg sayitfulele indlu yetimphunga umtsetfo lotawenta kutsi itinkampani temshwalensi tisebenzisane kute tikhone kubhadala imishwalensi lebita imali lenkhulu i-reinsurance bill yemnyaka wa 2021.
Reinsurance provides for that an insurance company wishing to spread the risk or share the insured risk with other insurance companies, they can cede some of the burden or obligations to another company. Further, the reinsurance company may in turn reinsure the risk with another insurance or reinsurance company, and this is known as retrocession in the insurance industry.
Ekubeni indvuna yetemafa ne-Rickenburg yetfule wona lo mtsetfo we-reinsurance bill wemnyaka wa 2021 timphunga endlini tibese tiyawukhulumisa.
Sengibani lotawumelela lotawuhambela leti mali letingaka lesetilahlekile. Kwami nje ukubuta kuthi atawu-underwrite-eka kanjani.
Indvuna yetemafa ne-Rickenburg ibese iniketa tona timphunga timphendvulo.
Let us just say you have a sugar field that has been insured and the insurance company doesn't have enough assets to be able to underwrite that company. They now need to go for reinsurance. And hence you'll find this work is normally being done in Switzerland, as an example. You find Swiss Re, Munich Re, Zurich Re, these different companies. The insurance companies go to them and say, right, I've got a book. I will take the first 10,000 emalangeni loss, the insurance company. So there's always what you call a first loss that is handled by the insurance company. But if the loss is more than 10,000 emalangeni, they then take your premium, they make a deal with the reinsurance company, they pay them something, and that reinsurance company, the big brother who's got big vaults full of gold, they then come in and they then give you reinsurance to make sure if something happens to that moba that maybe burns or something goes wrong with that moba, that they can then come and actually make a full payment in due and in lieu of the loss that's made.
Ekubeni indlu yetimphunga yewumukele lo mtsetfo we-reinsurance bill wemnyaka wa 2021 indvuna yetemafa ne-Rickenburg ibese icela kuyo indlu ehloniphekile ukuthi lona mtsetfo endluliselwe ekomitini lelibuke kusebenta kwaleli tiko khona endlini yetimphunga. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Samkeliswe Khoza nginasikhumbuzo Dlamini sisephalamende.
Indvuna yetemphilo lezinkosi ithi uhulumende ufaka imandla ekwenteni tindzaba tekuphila engcondvweni ukuthi tihambiswe imbili lapha eveni ngoba kumcoka kuphila engcondvweni. Indvuna bemelelwe ngulosabambe kuba ngumcondzisi wetemphilo Dr. Velepio Kelo ehhotela lasesibane nakugujwa lusuku lokuphila engcondvweni i-mental health.
Litiko letemphilo lithi litimisele kuyihambisa imbili indzaba yokuphila engcondvweni i-mental health lisekele netinhlelo letiphatselene nako-ke loko njengoba kuphila engcondvweni kubalulekile. Litiko letemphilo ligubhe lusuku lwekuphila engcondvweni kwavetwa nekuthi umkhuhlane i-COVID-19 wente timo tabanzima kulabanengi. Lobekamelele indvuna yetemphilo kulo msebenzi Dr. Velepio Kelo uthi litiko litawenda konke lokusemandleni kucinisekisa ukuthi tindzaba tekuphila engcondvweni tihambiswa imbili noma kunetinsayele tikhona.
The Ministry of Health remains committed to investing in mental health promotion, promoting the health and mental well-being of the people in Eswatini. Government and partners will ensure the implementation and coordination of policies, campaigns, strategies, and directives aimed at improving mental health services in the country.
Kubeseke kuphakanyiswa nemgomo lotawunakatonaka tindzaba tekuphila engcondvweni i-mental health policy. Kwavetwa ukuthi kwelashwa kutoke tindzaba akufinyeleleke malula kuwo wonke umuntu. Dr. Nomthandazo Lukhele lobuka tindzaba tokuphela engqondweni enhlanganweni yetempilo kamhlaba WHO uthi tiyadzinga ukukhulunyiswa vele tindzaba ngoba titsinza wonke.
Sisibaswati silivela kangwane kufuna sibambisane nemhlabhlangene kwenta show ukuthi bantu emaswati ayanakekeleka ngekwengqondo ayaphila and ayalithola usito lalidzingako nangabe ukhona ama-mental illnesses lanawo.
Netindzaba ke tekubandlulula labo labalashelwa tindzaba tekuphela engqondweni stigma tiyagcekwa njengoba akusilo lihlazo nekulashelwa tindzaba tengqondo. Lusito-ke etindzabeni tengqondo liyatholakala even lonke etibhedlela. Etindzabeni kubika Giyani Msibini Nasimuva Shongwe sisezulwini.
Umphathi wembutho wetekuvikela amashikilisane efaka ukuthi uthilive lidzinga emasotsha laphelile kungako kumcoka ukuthi uyasati isimo sawo sengadi. Faka ukuthi beyakhuluma ngesikhathi lombutho ukubhala usuku lwe-AIDS emhlabeni i-World AIDS Day.
Umbutho wetekuvikela lapha eveni umbutho Eswatini Defence Force ngalesine kuhambisana neligoli lelive lekuncoba sifo i-AIDS ugubhe ilanga le-AIDS i-World AIDS Day. Lo mbutho ugubhele ilanga ngaphansi kwesicubulo lesithi ngekulinganisa sincoba i-AIDS kuwonke. Lubuke lo mbutho sekakhuluma ngalelanga General Mashikilisana afakutse ukhuthaza lo mbutho ukuthi utihlole isimo sawo sengadi.
Live leli lidzinga emasotsha ethemba wonke umuntu uyalibona. Lawo masotsha noma ngabe bekungabonakali itolo sekuyabonakala kuyakhanya ukuthi live leli lidzinga abe khona futhi lwadzinga abe ngilaphilile.
Lobekamele umcondzisi wenhlangano yaka-Nature Sydney Nkambule yena ukhuthaze lo mbutho ukuthi utihlole naletinye tifo letingathathelwana.
Silive besithi sende kahle kakhulu tindzabeni tekuhlola nekwati status. Kepha kuyakhatsata ukuthi uma umuntu angasati isimo sashukela, angasati isimo se-high, most likely nesimo se-HIV is not known.
Kuchubeka nekubambisa live laseSwatini kuto tindzaba tetempilo, lo mbutho sewunemitfolamphilo kuto tonke tinkhambuta lo mbutho. Etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV kubika Samkeliswe Khoza Nasikhumbuzo Dlamini ePhocweni.
Bafundzi labalishumi benyuvesi yaseSwatini batawucuselana nalabanye eveni lasendiya ku-UNESCO Africa India Hackathon Competition emcucelwaneni lowatiwa nge-Hackathon Competition. Labafundzi bavaleliswe baphatsi benyuvesi yaseSwatini nalosabambe ukuba ngulunxusele live lendiya kuleli.
Bafundzi benyuvesi yaseSwatini labalishumi sibavele basendleleni leya India labanye ke batawubalandzela kutemathutane nje kuyochuzelana batshengise likhono letechwephesha India emchuzelaneni lonkeni lwabafundzi labamakhulu lasithupha. Enjunayidi Howard lebeyimelele ngwabhalane lomkhulu etiko letemfundo bheka igama ikhutsatile abafundzi ukuthi abahambe bayewuhlabana bathole lwati lolufanele.
The United Nations 2030 agenda underscores transformation that may result in empowering of citizens with appropriate skills, appropriate competencies, values, and attitudes.
Lisekela lemphatsi wenyuvesi yaseSwatini lebelimelelwe nguProfessor Henry Kataka emsebentini wekuvelelisa labafundzi lithi leli lithuba leliyimvela kancane lekushintsha umhlaba.
That the students will be solving problems in 5 thematic areas. The first one being education, where they will be using the power of digital revolution to improve access to quality education, allowing India and the African nations to achieve the goal of literacy for all.
Lobambe kuba ngulonxusele live lasendiya kuleli Susan Joseph uthi bayathokota kusekela abafundzi bemaswati kulomchutselwano.
I would like to congratulate the team that has managed to make it.
Lokhulumele bafundzi kube nguzandile Shabangu.
I also want to thank the government of Eswatini because of the relationship that it has with other governments of other countries.
Labafundzi bathi sabalungele kuyawuchuzelana ngoba bafundzisiwe lwati banalo. Etindzabeni ngeNgiyani Msibini Nasimuva Shongwe sisekwaluseni.
Inhlangano lebuketa indzaba abomake kanye namalungelo ibambe umhlangano eholeni yesiteki kanye nabomake bakulesifundza kutawukhulumisana kabanti ngenzima lengadlalwa abomake etikhundleni tebuholi. Umkonzisi walenhlangano eveni Sizakele Hlatshwayo uthi lucwaningo lolwendiwe ngolenhlangano liveta ukuthi kunesikhebesi lesikhulu etikhundleni tebuholi kuleli.
Lenhlangano lebuke ibomake nemaboyi ihlangene yesiteki ihambise embili indzaba yokuthi ibomake abangasaleli emuva esigabeni tebuholi eveni. Umcondzisi walenhlangano yeveni Sizakele Hlatshwayo ugcizelele ngendzaba yokuthi lenhlangano icucutela ukuthi amalungelo abomake kuba nemhlaba akabonakale eveni.
Yini mhlambe lefuna kushintshwa emthethweni kuze ukuthi bomake basitakale ngoba bomake bayasitshela ukuthi bayazama kuyobika lapha nalapha keja uyakhanza ukuthi indzaba tabo tishasithungeledane tigcine tingakayitholi isombululo.
Lomelele lobuke lehhovisi lamhlabuhlangene George Wachina Phiwa Malima uchaze kabanti ngenzima yabomake lekhona kumagoli akamhlabala khonsako.
Bomake bamcoka sengasibashiyelela bomake ngaphandle zangabathuthukisi bangabi ingcenye yetinqumo angeke sikhone kufeza wonke lemigomo long 17 wokuthuthuka lolubekiwe.
Tobita Betse uthi yinhle indzaba yekukhuthazwa ukuthi bangenele buholi kodwa ucela bomake bayekele kuthathelana phansi kodwa basekelane.
Ukuthi ngabe Nkosi yami laba bafike babuyele bathi hey samba nawe. Samba nawe. Wethembe wena uthi ngilalithatha athike khathi lakho libona. Indzaba isala bomake.
Sicubulo salomhlangano sithi kwanzisa ematfuba abomake kutebuholi Eswatini. Umbiko uhlanganiswe ngithembelihle Magutshwa esiteki.
Kutemidlalo losabambe ukuba ngumphathi wemsakato wetitfombi Eswatini TV Andreas Dlamini sewubikele sive ukuthi lo msakato utawube usakata njengoba yendeka imidlalo ye-2022 FIFA World Cup letawubanjelwa eveni laseQatar. Le midlalo iyaqala ngelisonto. Dlamini uchazile ukuthi lo msakato utawusakata imidlalo lenge-28 lefaya ekhatsi emave ase-Afrika. Uvete lokhu emhlanganweni nebetindzaba itolo.
Sinjeke asibadise balandzeli bebhola. Mhlambe ke umuntu akaphinza vetele ukuthi ngetulu ukuthi sitayibukela la ku TV yakithi lebhola. Siphinze futhi salungisa ukuthi sibe nama fan parks lapho khona sitawubuthana nje sibe ithandana sikhona ukubukela ibhola yethu sikanye kanye sisocialize sikhanze ukuthi kutawuba kuhle lokho kubalandzeli belibhola lokusho ukuthi nje kulelisonto lesiya kulo lapho kuya kube kulanga lekucala lokuyivula lemidlalo sidabe sila ePrince of Wales so sidabe sihlangene khona sinale tibukeli kokuthi sihlangane sibe nescreen lesikhulu sibukele ibhola kanye nezihlobo tethu nebangani bethu singe-Eswatini TV sinayo le TV yethu lesibukela ngayo ngithanda nje kwatisa abalaleli lokho ukuthi kukhona labathi bona bamthenga sigujana nga-2015 nga-2016 nakefika na-2017 mhlawumbe sewabagugela or mhlawumbe sebagugelwa ngema-remote controls kwaba njani angivete lokho ukuthi nyalo awusadzingi isigujana kangako akhona lama TV sets lo sewathenga angamdzingi lo sigujana shokuthana lo sigujana la ngekhathi lesidzinga ama integrated TV noma ke lenye igama baye bathi ngema smart TV sets ngokuthi akhona la ngasamdzingi lo sigujana ngokuthi ube naye usoyakhona nje kumemukela Eswatini TV kepha ke le aerial yona solo iyadzingeka ukuthi ube nayo hayi indish i-aerial.
Siyatiphetsa ngaleto temidlalo sitawusa Selkhefu nasibuya sikhulumisana na Communications Director ka-ERS asinchine semusululo.
1 2 3 shaya bola. Kaze baphela buhlungu bami bengingatholi bantwana.
Namhla senginayo umuntu engixoxa naye, ngisidlala naye. Manje ngiyayibonga nahlelo lwakwa foster care program. Lelo angilethela wena mfana wami. Namhla senginalo nami uthundulo lwami lwakusasa. Sengiyadi ukuthi sekukhona umuntu engihlala naye lesixoxa naye.
Bantwa bethu foster care help raise the future bethembethile.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3# and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni per month. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the role and impact of taxes in the lives of Eswatini makes tax education an imperative for all Eswatini. Not only is tax knowledge valuable to the taxpayer, it is also valuable to the government. Eswatini Revenue Service is committed to bridging the tax knowledge gap as they continue unpacking different tax topics with us here at Kusile Breakfast Show. Today is not different. I am joined by Vusi Dlamini, who is the Communications Director at Eswatini Revenue Service. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Siyabonga kakhulu mkhonisi September kokuthi sitawuphinza sibe nalo lithuba lekuthi sikhulume tona tindzaba temthelo.
Kunjalo Nkosi. Njengoba nje sawufikile Nkosi, VAT exempt supplies ungihlebele nje before singenelana ukuthi that's the topic for the day. Engabe ungasichazela kabani ukuthi what is VAT exempt supplies naloko ukuthi ke siyeva ukuthi phela kuphinze kube nabo zero tax, le distinction nje between those two rates.
Okay. I think the starting point is when the VAT Act is done. I think it's 2011, starting to working at 2012. Normally, the government, like all other government, looks at certain policy issues and that they want to address as they craft the legislation. And ordinarily then, as they do that, by certain goods or services that would need to attract tax at 14% or 15% now, which we call standard rate. But particularly they also look at goods that would be zero rated, and there would be those services normally labese aba exempt. The zero rated goods, normally the government will do that to try and make those goods a bit cheaper and affordable for everyone. Particularly the low-income people, and we will talk about zero rating maybe at some point in time. But today we think let's talk about the exempt supplies, as you mentioned, and three within, but basically there will be the standard rate, which is all goods and services that are not listed under either, because the law then lists even two schedules. It lists those goods that would be standard rate, that would be zero rated, and then those goods or services that would be exempt. So anything that is not in that schedule in the Act, then it means it is standard rated, because you can't list just about everything in the law. So the exempt supplies, the difference is that if a business is supplying what is called zero rated, baye kufuna babhalise for VAT because they will charge VAT and then they will pay VAT to the state. But normally you find that if they are dealing purely on zero-rated items, they will be on a refund position. As I mentioned earlier, you're trying to make the goods easier. So if they are in a refund position, the thinking is that then they should make their goods much cheaper. Exempt supplies, you don't expect that those businesses should register for VAT. So CICT, aibatsinzi at all VAT. We will see it as we go into detail of which are those items, basically, that would normally be listed in our act as exempt supplies.
I think asesivele singene kuwo nje ngikhosi ngumaphi vele laba exempt kuba ama services kuphela noma akhona nema goods.
Normally I will see a very few goods, even though it becomes difficult to differentiate between whether it is a good or a service. Water, for instance, is it a good, is it a service? I think tap water is one of those things that are not zero rated, but they are exempt, but a lot of them would be services. I will kuluma about 5 or so because of time. I think the first one that is of key highlight is medical and dental services. They are listed as services that are exempt, which basically means dipedlela and labo labarana, those types of businesses, they are not expected to register for VAT. So if a business is, if your business is that type where you are supplying what we call medical or dental services, siyathi kunabodokotela labarana tibhedlela tabo and kunetibhedlela leti private kunaleti public. And again, the thinking is don't even include VAT there because you don't want it to be touched by VAT. You want affordability for people. So it is exempt supply of medical and dental services. We also have supply of buildings and land, so that's a very tricky one.
Ngifuna ungene kuye emathunjini leyo nkosi ngiyithola ngathi it's a bit complex, iyafuna lokho ukuthi singathi singayichacha kabanzi.
Yes, because sitawukhumbula ukuthi kuthengiselana umhlaba noma kuthengiselana ema-buildings singakuhlukanisa cishe kabili. Ngingakuthengisela i-building today, ngikuthengisele noma loyo mhlaba, but it's for commercial it's either for commercial purposes or for residential purposes. The act was crafted such that the supply of commercial buildings or land is basically standard rated. So it means as you supply that, you have to charge VAT. But if you're supplying a piece of land, or you're supplying a building, or you're selling someone a building purely for residential, there will be no VAT there. You will expect that should be exempt.
Am I wrong, Umangiti? Essentially, at the premise of ukuthi ni identify njani ukuthi lokho ku VAT exempt, that service or that good, so to speak, has to be essential. It has to be like an essential service. Now since about dipedlela, since about residential,
yeah, you could say that. I think it is linked to that. But also, if you look at how VAT is crafted, it looks into are you really making? Yes, I know that. Hospitals and stuff, I think it is mainly meant to benefit the public. But when it comes to a commercial building, for instance, if we go to business, I mean to exemption related to building, supply of buildings and land. If you sell me a commercial building, I buy a commercial building to make money. You would not buy a commercial building for the sake of it. You buy it to make money, so that is why it would be seen as business that is meant to generate money, and then at the end of the day you will expect that there is VAT component there.
Interesting. I think songibalele 2 VAT exempt supplies. do we have other ones that you would love to touch on?
Yeah, I would also, linked to health would be education services.
Yes.
You would expect that if ngiya esikolweni I mean bamfana kufuna bahambe baye esikolweni at some point in time, you will expect that those people that are supplying those services, it basically means schools, when they are doing school fees and stuff, you will expect that they should be charging VAT. It can be private, it can be, as long as it is education services, there is no need for them to charge VAT, because at the end of the day, it's education services. They are supposed to be accessible to members of the public.
Then why don't we see a lot of private schools? Because if it's VAT exempt, I believe the incentive to start Skolwa Sami should be there, especially when there's such a gap. Certainly, there are not enough schools.
Well, that becomes a decision that people that want to run businesses, I'm sure they will look at many different things when they are making those decisions. But I think the one crucial thing is that there is the other component of it, obviously, when you're running a private school, because the reality is that depending on how it is structured as a private school, a private entity then becomes a taxable entity as an entity now. Now, if it's going to be making profits, for instance, it has to be treated like any other. So there is then going to come in another element of income tax there. But when it comes to VAT, you'll expect that there will be no VAT. I think the other key one that I want to highlight is passenger transportation. Passenger transportation also is exempt. Basically, transportation, people would say, what exactly? Passenger transportation is what we see. Emakumbi lalaisha bantu, emabhasi lalaisha bantu. We expect that there will be no VAT that is charged there. As you are supplying, now utfola tickets lakho lebhasi angathi sinesambe ngemabhasi for a long time. Utfola tickets lakho lebhasi, you will not expect that there has to be VAT there. So it is those entities are not expected to register. There is a caveat though for those that are providing transportation but now that are tour operated. You will expect that there will be VAT there. If you're operating a passenger transportation, that is a bit now different from what we know as the normal transportation. Tour operators, we expect that there will be VAT component there.
I think you've touched on all the services that you wanted to touch on, but you did mention earlier, Gutsi, there are a few goods that you also want to touch on.
Really, when it comes to goods, Mguni, you will not find many. As I mentioned, you will find water. That's the one that I will remember. But most of them, as I mentioned, there will be a thin line between them being seen as goods or actually services. Otherwise, a whole list of them would be services that would be exempt. But the goods, you will find them mainly in the zero-rated items. And if I were to just make an example, moving away from EE exemption, those are targeted mainly as those goods that are essential. Example, when we started VAT in 2012, people used to ask us why brown bread and not white. Brown bread is actually zero rated, but white bread is standard rated. I don't know, the government, when maybe they were doing that, they're saying brown bread is healthy bread, and white bread maybe being a little bit of a luxury.
I presume that's the reality with other countries as well. I was reading an article, I believe it's the UK, brown bread is also VAT exempt there, as well as milk. I'm just about better. White bread is a luxury. Is it not? It is.
So I think actually when you're talking of dairy products also, I think there is that as well in our own legislation. I think it has been recently amended to remove some things, because when it was done in 2012, when it comes to dairy products, it included all sorts of things, including your yogurt, including your all sorts of things, cheese. So now if you look at all those things, honestly, you will agree with me that they are a little bit more luxury. So I think the Act now has been amended to say, from a zero rating perspective, it is talking purely to milk, which is milk that we know to be milk, and which is the essential bit. Emasi, we know that emasi is also one of the basic things that Swati down there would need. I think it also speaks to a number of things when we're talking to the goods and zero rating. The fruits and vegetables. I think you could see there also that those are essential things, and they are also zero rated. But nalapo, there are certain things that we also need to look into, because the Act then specifies what exactly are we talking about when we're talking about fruits and vegetables. It has to be in its natural state. So if you go into a supermarket and you find a fruit salad, it is a fruit, but there's a little bit of value add there. They've done some work for you that ordinarily you would have done at home. So if you buy that, you are now buying luxury. Basically, you are buying a value added something. So there's VAT there. You will not find it under the zero rate. We normally would make examples of Nel Kabishi. If you go and get cabbage that is in its normal state, you buy it from there, or you go into a supermarket, you buy it in its normal state, it is zero rated. But nasebal chopile balfage in a plastic, then they've added value, because the price also is different.
It's quite an interesting topic. We sibona nje bantu bazama kubreacha le gap ekuthenini kunebantu labadzinga lisito ngathini laba ngifuna ukusebenzisa leli gama lelithi labahluphekile ngawuthini, but asesilisebenzise nje sibe safe ngalo. There's been a lot of fundraising charity events. Are those value-added tax exempt?
Charitable activities also that are driven for non-profit purposes, you would expect that the principle is that they are not. They are exempt. You will expect that they are exempt. They shouldn't be VAT involved. But I think it's very crucial because when you're talking now to charitable activities, you need to be sure what exactly it is. So you will expect that ordinarily we should know about that charitable activity before we can call it exempt or not, because there will be some activities that are coming in as charitable activities, but they are meant to benefit certain people. So you want to be cautious there. Yes, the Act is clear also that charitable activities for non-profit making, I think, is actually exempt.
Thank you so much, Ngosi.
No, thank you very much. We hope that even next week we come back here, Sito deliberate on other issues. I think towards the end, one would want to emphasize that we appreciate people are paying taxes that they're expected to pay. 27th of this month, we will expect that all VAT registered entities, they should have submitted their returns for the month, particularly those that submit on a monthly basis. And Sitela go emphasize that there's a spreadsheet that we introduce, and we expect that that's what they will attach as part of their submissions in the month of November and going forward.
Well, that was Vusi Dlamini, the Communications Director from Eswatini Revenue Service. Bahlaleke beta nje njalo ngaboLesihlanu kutawusifundzisa kutindzaba temithelo into lemqoka kakhulu njengoba sihighlightile nje masim introduce umlangeni sethembe ukuthi ngonelo muntu tasjoyina nasevikini lelitako makabuya umlangeni sitekta ufunza ngema tax issues. It is exactly 50 minutes after 6 this Friday morning. Asesibahlole emakethe nasibuya sitaqhubeka nelihlelo.
Why should we pay our TV license?
The content on our local television is actually more up to date. The industry is enhanced.
It is a criminal offense not to pay your TV license and attracts a fine of 500 emalangeni or 6 months imprisonment.
And the industry is definitely blooming, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we have for you. But we'll be right back just after the break, and we'll give you more of Missed Fee.
Pay my TV license. That's why I can enjoy the benefits of an enhanced industry and keep track with recent transformation.
Mommy, who pays for a TV license and what are they paying for?
The
The owners of TV set and gadget with a tuner like DVD set have to pay.
Pay your TV license at NetBank with the details provided on screen. Or use your cell phone via the mobile money pay. You could also visit your nearest post office and pay there. Pay your TV license via Eswatini Mobile Imali. Any TV device retailer can purchase a license to trade. Pay your TV license and enhance the industry.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It is exactly 51 minutes after 6. Sitawubuka ke tindzaba letibuya ngephandle kwakuleli. Sesithathe nje emehlo siwaphonse even lasemelika lapho khona licembu lema Republicans livele ke lithethe i-majority vote ekuthenini lisengilo lelinemandla ku House of Representatives. Sitawubuka nje umbiko masinyane lothi Democrats 4-year majority in the US House ends as Republicans take power.
Major changes ahead in the U.S. Congress as new lawmakers are introduced on Capitol Hill. For the first time in 4 years, Democrats no longer hold the majority in the House of Representatives.
With great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will step aside for younger Democrats to take their turn leading in the minority. Congressman Kevin McCarthy is the Republican nominee to become the new Speaker.
I'm proud to announce the era of one-party Democrat rule in Washington is over. Washington now has a check and balance.
But McCarthy will find it hard to unite his own members behind major legislation as he faces significant opposition from the wing of the party still loyal to former President Donald Trump.
They have to figure out how to have consensus within their own caucus before they can even reach across the aisle. So I think it's going to be a challenging time, for a very thin, majority in the House.
New members of Congress say the narrow majority should force the two parties to work together on bipartisan legislation.
Folks are tired of the extremists on the far left and the far right, and they want people willing to work across the aisle to do what's right.
There's a lot of area of agreement if people are willing to sit down and work towards it.
And any legislation will have to pass a Democratic majority U.S. Senate under the continued leadership of Chuck Schumer.
I have a plea for the Republicans and advice. If you embrace MAGA, you're going to keep losing. You're going to lose more. The embrace of MAGA in 2018, 2020, and 22 didn't work. We welcome you to work with us on a bipartisan basis.
Despite a challenge, Mitch McConnell held on to the Senate leadership position among Republicans while recognizing their failures with voters this election.
Their impression of many of the people in our party in leadership roles is that they're involved in chaos, negativity, excessive attacks, and it frightened independent and moderate Republican voters.
But with a divided government for the next 2 years, the chances of President Joe Biden passing any major legislation are very slim.
Ngaleyo ndzaba ke yelicembu lema Republican silithole titulo letiningi endlini yetishamthetho eMelika yahlula lona licembu lema Democrats. Sitawubahlola eTimakethe nasibuya Sergeant Gule joins us usipha traffic update.
Do you remember the spinning thing? This is us. This picture represents what we did. We were there when coronavirus wreaked havoc in our population. Together with other stakeholders, we formed the first line, controlling the spread of the unknown and unseen enemy of the people. Anxious ourselves, we collected dead bodies countrywide. At the time when no one wanted to come near dead bodies of loved ones, we did care for our fellow citizens. Thank you, the people of Eswatini and teams of first responders.
It's 56 minutes after 6 this Friday morning. Lesikhathi sanyalo ke sijoyinwa nguye Sergeant Gule njenge njwayelo lotasipha i-traffic update. Sikuvusele emagwabane lomhla ekuseni.
Anguvusele mfowethu ekuseni, ngivusele umbukelo waloluhlelo. Namuhla lesivuka nato kunenkhungu lekhansa phansi ikakhulukazi nawukhanyisa nawukhuphuka yona indzaba yakumalagwane. Sikhuthaza nje bashayele ukuthi abakhanyise bona ke amalambu ubonakala nokuthi ke imotolo dabo kusheshe kubonakala ngesikhathi sitovikela khona kwendeka kwato ingozi. Kanti ke lesisanza kwendeka lapha endase edolobheni lakaManzini kunengoti lesiyelekile lapha etibaleni temgwaqo lesilapha eNazarene. Yenda ke kutsikametheke kuhamba kwato ke imotolo. Sikhuthaza nje bashayeli ikakhulukazi laba yofika khona lapha kulapha tibane temgwaqo lapha eNazarene. Na uqhamuka edolobheni kaManzini ukuthi kukhona ukutsikametheka lokukhulu lapho kuhamba kwathi imotolo kulandzela ukuthi inqola lenkulu lebeyilayishe wona umoba iwe khona lapha ekhasi nekhasi nato ke tibane temgwaqo iyawuthi ke ithinteke imotolo leti yawusuka lapha eRiverstone kude khona itibaneni temgwaqo kunywa ke ngemgwaqo lomncane kakhulu lapha sibili. Sikhuthaza ke ukuthi ke labaningi abawusebenzise nange umgwaqo lokhuphela lapha eTrolley Park uyoqhamukela lapha esibhedlela lesikhulu saseNazarene lekungulebusha street phela sitafike sijoyine sona sitalathi lesiqhamuka khona lapha kubo remand center siye khona lapha etibaneni temgwaqo. Kanjalo ke noma ubuka yona iRiverstone nakhona ikhona ingxenye yemgwaqo lesithintekile lapho leyenda ke ukuthi nakhona kusebele line linye na ungena ekhasi edolobheni ingengana nje leti ngoti etendekile lapho kulandzela ukuthi bekwendeka yona ngelelo ngoti lenkulu lena sithi abashayeli ngalokukhulu ukucophelela sisangena khona lapha edolobheni lakhona kaManzini. Noko ke akhona emaphoyisa kulawula kona kuhamba kwathi imotolo sithi nje kube khona kubambisana sisawusebenzisa loyo mgwaqo loyo. Kanti ke kulonye ihlangothi asivete lokho ukuthi nalesa sitalathi lesilapha eRemand lesivaliwe sitenda taba ke ukuthi awumane kuvuleke kulandzela ukuthi lo mthamo sosetulu kakhulu wetimotolo leti qhamuka khona lapha eRemand Center tita khona eNazarene letingeto nginathi ziqhamuka khona edolobheni letingena khona lapha sithi nje awubekulela sikhumbule kuloyo mgwaqo loyo awusiyo i-one way imotolo ziyaphambana ngakho ke asitiketane emathuba bakhona kungena la babheka khona koNgwane Park ingabese leti motolo ziqhamuka eNgwane Park sithatha onke lamalayini ngoba ngakwenda njalo kutawusokwenda ukuthi akusahambeki inhlobo kuleyo nzingwana leyo. Kanti lapha eTulu kugege noma lapha indase eshiselweni na usuka kugege ubheka khona inhlangano ku-MR13 kunemgwaqo lapho noma ke kunelibloho umfula uthiwa ngumkhombo emandi ke ahamba ngeTulu kwanyalo ekuseni sikholwa ukuthi kubomkhelwane kunemadamu lavuliwe imotolo nje asikhona kwendlula njengoba ngikhuluma nje ke sibonakala ungathi kuyawuthatha ama-hour langu-4 kuya langu-5 kuze ukuthi imali ehle kuleso sigatshana leso. Siyacela nje ukuthi awube kunele nakhona asihloniphe leso simo wena nohamba ngemotolo ungathathi emathomo ekuwela kuleyo nzawana leyo ngoba ngakwenda njalo uzabe sowenda yona-ke ingozi. Nasedolobheni elikhulu laseMbabane isitalathi lesingisomhlolo road lesisuka khona lapha ngakalilunga house noma ke lapha ka-Royal Insurance sibheke khona eTulu lapha kubosandla sivaliwe nakhona leso sitalathi leso sigatshana ke noko lokwenda ke ukuthi imotolo tingene ekhasi nesitalathi lokuthiwa ngu-Carl Grant Street kusitalathi lesiyawuhamba eceleni kwemona yawungena khona lapha eceleni kubo-MBA nakhona bekunene asinanzele timpawu lesibhekele tona letingitona sisilawula ngendlela lesingayisebenzisa kwesikhashana. Kanti ke tibane nje semgwaqo sisebenza kahle emadolobheni ethu nemthamo kwemotolo emgwaqweni sovele uphakeme sithi bekunene sichubeke sishayele kahle sinake timpawu temgwaqo litubane libe ngilelo leliphansi leliyawena ukuthi awukhona kulawula imotolo yakho lapho kuvela simo bonga kasithathu khona. Siyabonga kakhulu msakazi ngimthiselelanga lelihle lisachubeka nelisuku lwenu naso sive semaswati sisiselelanga lelihle leliphephile sisawusebenzisa umgwaqo. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga Malambula. Bekunguye ke Sergeant Bekmuzi Gule asipha nje i-traffic update ekuthanini sime kanjani simo semgwaqo even lonke lomuhla ekuseni. Lesikhathi sanyalo sitabahlola etimakethe nasibuya sitawuthatha indzaba tethu tesibili.
This is PrEP, otherwise known as pre-exposure prophylaxis. PrEP is for HIV prevention. PrEP can be used by HIV-negative people to protect themselves from HIV. For more information on PrEP, visit your nearest health facility or call 2030.
I am a man in charge of my health. I use a condom every time. I have tested and I know my HIV status.
HIV prevention starts with me. In order to end AIDS, I have a right to fair treatment in access to HIV services.
Health facilities do not discriminate. Visit your nearest health facility for HIV services.
Ngekulinganisa, sinqoba i-AIDS kuwonke wonke. Equalize. Eswatini, ending AIDS for all.
Baba nanyamani.
Sake ngikhumbulile. Hamba nje ekuseni sengibuya ngikhumbulile. Basisita ke mfana. Ngoba bese kukhala libhungane la. Yonke into sesahlala eMCT. Uyayibona le ndzawo.
Basisita vela bahulumende ukuba sinika labantwana. Kanti vele nangemhamba itolo. Bantwana bebakhulela kubantu abadzala. Umcele nakulomunye.
Banva bethu foster care help raise the future. Bethembethi.
Akeke sesibuke tindzaba tethu tesibili talomuhla. Ndvunankhulu Cleopas Dlamini uthi uhulumende utimisele kusebenzisana netinhlangano kanye netinyonyane tetisebenzi kute kube nebudlelwane lobuhle emkhatsini wetisebenzi nahulumende ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ndvunankhulu bekakhuluma ehhotela lase Mountain View eMbabane ngalesine nakusayinwa phindze kutfulwa luhlelo lwase-Eswatini lwemisebenti lengalulati bantfu i-Decent Work Country Program.
Bubukeka buthuthuka futhi butawuba buhle budlelwane emkhatsini wahulumende netinyonyane netinhlangano tetisebenzi kulandzela kusayinwane kwethulwa kweluhlelo lwase-Eswatini lwemisebenti lengalulati bantfu pheceleti i-Decent Work Country Program. Ndvunankhulu Cleopas Dlamini yakhuluma kulomsebenzi wekusukumisa loluhlelo kuleli uthi live selibukete kabusha imitsetfo lengamashumi-33 lebukete indzaba tetisebenzi.
Government has also reviewed various other legislative instruments which are not necessarily labor related in an effort to comply with recommendations of the ILO supervisory bodies, which requested the country to align these legislation with ratified international labor standards. Some of the policy instruments and action programs have been promulgated by government to give effect to ratified international labor standards, social dialogue structures, to give purpose and effect to the spirit of social dialogue and tripartism on labor and employment-related matters.
Endlu 97 nenhlalakahle phela buthelezi ithi nanoma-ke kungakabi lula kodwa-ke live liyetama kwenta ngcono etindzabeni tetisebenzi.
Part of what we've traversed upon during that induction process was the whole concept of decent work and social justice as advocated by the ILO and promoted through the Decent Work Country programs.
Umcondzisi wenhlangano yetisebenzi kamhlaba lapha eSwatini nase-South Africa naseveni leBotswana Dr. Johnny Musabayana uthe lokusayinwa kuchaza ukuthi bophelela kwelive ekusebenteni lokungekho eSwatini.
Harmony is a labor market. In the labor market is not a given. It has to be worked for. It has to be a deliberate act. And part of that, of course, is when the social partners say, we were involved. That means they are on the table.
Tinhlangano netinyonyana tetisebenzi lebekufaka ekhatsi ibhizinisi eSwatini FirstBig tukhoswa neFirstWatu balujabulele luhlelo loluthembisa kushintsha kwesimo sekusebentela nekunakeka kwetikhalo tabo teminyaka. Kubeka Kiyani Msibi nasimuva Shongwe, sisa Mountain View eMbabane.
Liphini landvunankhulu Themba Masuku lithi inombolo yebantfwana bendlunkhulu solo iyachubeka nekukhula, kodwa hulumende naye uyachubeka nekusukumisa tinhlelo letibukele inhlalakahle yabo. Masuku bekakhuluma ngesikhatsi kuhleli indlu yetimphunga ngalesine.
Ngesikhathi indlu yetimphunga ichubeka nemsebenzi wendlu yelisuku ngalesine, imphunga mkhululi Dlamini icele lendlu lehloniphekile ukuthi liphini landvunankhulu Themba Masuku selitfulele lendlu kuthi engabe bantfwana bendlunkulu noma ke ema-offices lasekelwa nguye hulumende timpilo tabo setishinje kanganani bakuphi futhi. Kanti imphunga mkhululi Dlamini yesekelwe ngumphanenkosi Mshengu kule ndzaba.
Lithi ke lami DPM uyabadini ukuthi bakuphi labo bantfwana nyalo labakhe. Uyadini ukuthi bendani nyalo labakhe. Ibuta lokho nje le motion ukuthi DPM asakasifunele ukuthi labantwana noma phela bakhe yebo ngaloko ukuthi ngiyolala kejabu bethu sonke labo bantwana.
Indlunkulu ngoba ikhona lapha phansi ayiside lokho ukuthi labantwana batholakala.
Liphini landvunankhulu imphunga Themba Masuku ibese yethula yona indlu ehloniphekile timphendvulo.
Currently sina 42 wema residential homes. Just bantu nje laba sigcinela labantwana 42 lana registered Eswatini lasemenene nasesivile singahamba siye khona kunebantwana labaphatheke kahle perfectly kulawo makhaya lawo labanye bafunza both languages uyamangala fluency yabo kuleto tindzawo leto.
Liphini landvunankhulu Themba Masuku kubheke ukuthi letfulele lendlu lehloniphekile umbukelo ogcwele ngalena ndzaba ngamalanga langabe nge-21. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika samkeliswe khoza nginasikhumbuzo Dlamini sisephalamende.
Indvuna yetemafa Neil Reichenberg seyetfulele indlu yetimphunga umtsetfo lotawenta kutsi tinkampani temshwalensi tisebenzisane kute tikhone kubhadala imshwalensi lebita imali lenkhulu i-reinsurance bill yemnyaka wa 2021.
Reinsurance provides for that an insurance company wishing to spread the risk or share the insured risk with other insurance companies, they can cede some of the burden or obligations to another company. Further, the reinsurance company may in turn reinsure the risk with another insurance or reinsurance company, and this is known as retrocession in the insurance industry.
Ekubeni indvuna yetemafa ne-Reichenberg yetfule wona lo mtsetfo we-reinsurance bill wemnyaka wa 2021 timphunga endlini tibese tiyawukhulumisa.
Sengibani lotawumelela lotawuhambela letimali letingaka lesetilahlekile. Kwami nje kubuta kusi atawu-underwrite-eka kanjani.
Indvuna yetemafa ne-Reichenberg ibese iniketa tona timphunga timphendvulo.
Let us just say you have a sugar field that has been insured and the insurance company doesn't have enough assets to be able to underwrite that company. They now need to go for reinsurance. And hence you'll find this work is normally being done in Switzerland, as an example. You find Swiss Re, Munich Re, Zurich Re, these different companies. The insurance companies go to them and say, right, I've got a book. I will take the first 10,000 emalangeni loss, the insurance company. So there's always what you call a first loss that is handled by the insurance company. But if the loss is more than 10,000 emalangeni, they then take your premium, they make a deal with the reinsurance company, they pay them something, and that reinsurance company, the big brother who's got big vaults full of gold, they then come in and they then give you reinsurance to make sure if something happens to that moba that maybe burns or something goes wrong with that moba, that they can then come and actually make a full payment in due and in lieu of the loss that's made.
Ekubeni indlu yetimphunga yewumukele lo mtsetfo we-reinsurance bill wemnyaka wa 2021 indvuna yetemafa ne-Reichenberg ibese icela kuyo indlu ehloniphekile ukuthi lona mtsetfo wendluliselwe ekomidini lelibuke kusebenta kwaleli tiko khona endlini yetimphunga. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika samkeliswe khoza nginasikhumbuzo Dlamini sisephalamende.
Indvuna yetemphilo Lizinkosi ithi hulumende ufaka emandla ekwenteni tindzaba tekuphila engcondvweni kutsi tihambiswe embili lapha eveni ngoba kumgcokwa kuphila engcondvweni. Indvuna beyimelelwe ngilosabambe kuba ngumcondzisi wetemphilo Dr. Velephi Okelo ehotela lasesibani nakugujwa lusuku lwekuphila engcondvweni i-mental health.
Litiko letempilo lithi litimisele kuyihambisa imbili indzaba yokuphila engqondweni i-mental health lisekele netinhlelo letiphatselene nako-ke loko njengoba kuphila engqondweni kubalulekile. Litiko letempilo ligubhele usuku lwekuphila engqondweni kwavetwa nekuthi umkhuhlane i-COVID-19 wente timo tabanzima kulabanengi. Lobekamelele indvuna yetempilo kulo msebenzi Dr. Velephi okelo uthi litiko litawenda konke lokusemandleni kuqinisekisa ukuthi tindzaba tekuphila engqondweni tihambiswa imbili noma kunetinsaya letikhona.
The Ministry of Health remains committed to investing in mental health promotion, promoting the health and mental well-being of the people in Eswatini. Government and partners will ensure the implementation and coordination of policies, campaigns, strategies, and directives aimed at improving mental health services in the country.
Kubeseke kuphakanyiswa nemgomo lotawunakatonaka tindzaba tekuphila engqondweni i-mental health policy. Kwavetwa nokuthi kwelashwa kutoke tindzaba akufinyeleleke malula kuwo wonke umuntu. Dr. Nomthandazo Lukhele lobuke tindzaba tekuphila engqondweni enhlanganweni yetempilo kamhlaba i-WHO uthi tiyadzinga ukukhulunyiswa vele tindzaba ngoba titsinza wonke.
Sisimaswati silivela kangwane kufuna sibambisane nemhlabhlangene kwenta sure ukuthi bantu eMaswati ayanakekeleka ngekwengqondo ayaphila and ayalithola sito lalidzingako nangabe ukhona ama-mental illnesses lanawo.
Netindzaba ke tekubandlulula labo labalashelwa tindzaba tekuphila engqondweni stigma tiyagcekwa njengoba akusilo lihlazo nekulashelwa tindzaba tengqondo. Lusito-ke tindzabeni tengqondo liyatholakala even lonke etibhedlela. Etindzabeni kubika Giyani Msibini Nasimuva Shongwe sisezulwini.
Umphathi wembutho wetekuvikela mashikilisane efakutse uthi live lidzinga emasotsha laphilile kungako kumcoka ukuthi asathi isimo sawo sengati. Fakutse bekakhuluma ngesikhathi lo mbutho ugubha usuku lwe-AIDS emhlabeni World AIDS Day lebe ubanjelwe enhlokohovisi yalo mbutho ePhocweni.
Umbutho wetekuvikela lapha even umbutho weSwatini Defence Force ngalesine kuhambisana neligodi lelive lekuncoba sifo i-AIDS ugubhe ilanga le-AIDS i-World AIDS Day. Lo mbutho ugubhele ilanga ngaphansi kwesicubulo lesithi ngekulinganisa sincoba i-AIDS kuwonke. Lubuke lo mbutho sekakhuluma ngalelanga General Mashikilisana Fakutse ukhuthata lo mbutho ukuthi utihlole simo sawo sengadi.
Live leli lidzinga emasotsha ethemba wonke umuntu uyalibona. Lawo masotsha noma ngabe bengabonakali itolo sekuyabonakala kuyakhanya ukuthi live leli lidzinga abe khona futhi lwadzinga abe ngilaphilile.
Lobekamelele umcondzisi wenhlangano yaka-Nature Sydney Nkambule yena ukhuthate lo mbutho ukuthi utihlole naletinye tifo letingathathelwana.
Silive besithi sende kahle kakhulu tindzabeni tekuhlola nekwati status. Kepha kuyakhatsata ukuthi uma umuntu angasati isimo sashukela, angasati isimo se-high, most likely nesimo se-HIV is not known.
Kuchubeka nekubambisa live laseSwatini kuto tindzaba tetempilo, lo mbutho sewunemitfolamphilo kuto tonke tinkhambuta lo mbutho. Etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV kubika Samkeliswe Khoza Nasikhumbuzo Dlamini ePhocweni.
Bafundzi labalishumi nababili benyuvesi yaseSwatini batawuchudzelana nalabanye event laseNdiya ku-UNESCO Africa India Hackathon Competition. Labafundzi bavaleliswe baphatsi benyuvesi yaseSwatini nalosabambe kubangu lonxusele live leNdiya kuleli.
Bafundzi benyuvesi yaseSwatini labalishumi nababili sebavele basendleleni leya India labanye ke batawubalandzela kuti mathutane nje kuyochudzelana batshengise likhono letebuchwephesha eNdiya emchudzelaneni lonkeni lwabafundzi labamakhulu lasithupha. Indvuna Lady Howard lebeyimelele umabhalane lomkhulu etiko letemfundo ubheka igama ikhutsate labafundzi ukuthi abahambe bayewuhlabana bathole lwati lolufanele.
The United Nations 2030 agenda underscores transformation that may result in empowering of citizens with appropriate skills, appropriate competencies, values, and attitudes.
Lisekela lemphatsi wenyuvesi yaseSwatini lebelimelelwe nguProfessor Henry Gadaka emsebentini wekuvelelisa labafundzi lithi leli lithuba leliyimvela kancane lekushintsha umhlaba.
That the students will be solving problems in 5 thematic areas. The first one being education, where they will be using the power of digital revolution to improve access to quality education, allowing India and the African nations to achieve the goal of literacy for all.
Lo bambe kuba ngilonxusele live laseNdiya kuleli Susan Joseph uthi bayathokota kusekela abafundi beMaswati kulo mchutselwano.
I would like to congratulate the team that has managed to make it.
Lokhulumela abafundi kube nguzandile Shabangu.
I also want to thank the government of Eswatini because of the relationship that it has with other government of other countries.
Labafundi bathi sabalungele ke ukuchutselana ngoba bafundzisiwe lwati banalo. Etinzabeni ngengiyena emsibingi nasimuva shongwe sisekwaluseni.
Temidlalo lo sabambe kuba ngumphathi wemsakato weTitfombe Eswatini TV Andreas Dlamini sawubikele sive ke ukuthi lo msakato utawube usakata bukhoma imidlalo ye2022 FIFA World Cup letawubanjelwa even lase Qatar. Le midlalo iyaqala ngeSonto kanti Dlamini uchazile ukuthi lo msakato utawusakata imidlalo lengemashumi lamabili nesiphohlongo 28 lefaka ekhathi emave ase-Afrika. Dlamini ukuvete lokho emhlanganweni nebetindzaba ngalesine.
Sithi nje ke asibatise balandzeli bebhola. Mhlambe ke umuntu akaphinza vetele ukuthi ngetulu ukuthi sitayibukela la ku TV yakithi lebhola. Siphindze futhi salungisa ukuthi sibe nama fan parks lapho khona sitawubuthana nje sibe ithandana sikhona ukubukela ibhola yethu sikanye kanye sisocializer sikhanze ukuthi kutawuba kuhle lokho kubalandzeli belibhola lokusho ukuthi nje kuleli sonto lesiya kulo lapho kuya kube kulanga lekucala lokuyivula lemidlalo sidabe sila ePrince of Wales. So sidabe sihlangene khona sinale tibukeli kokuthi sihlangane sibe nescreen lesikhulu sibukele ibhola kanye kanye nezihlobo tethu nebangani bethu singe-Eswatini TV sinayo le TV yethu lesibukela ngayo ngithanda nje kwatisa abalaleli lokho ukuthi kukhona labathi bona bamthenga sigujana nga-2015 nga-2016 nakefika na-2017 mhlawumbe sewabagugela or mhlawumbe sebagugelwa ngema-remote controls kwaba njani. Angivete lokho ukuthi nyalo awusadzingi isigujana kangako. Akhona lama-TV sets lo sewuwathenga angamdzingi lo sigujana. Shokuthana lo sigujana langekhathi lesidzinga ama-integrated TV noma-ke lenye igama baye bathi ngema-smart TV sets. Kokuthi akhona langasamdzingi lo sigujana. Kokuthi ube naye usoyakhona nje kumemukela Eswatini TV. Kepha-ke le aerial yona solo iyadzingeka ukuthi ube nayo. Hayi indish, i-aerial.
Ngaleyo ndzaba yetemidlalo ke siyadiphetha tindzaba tethu tesibili idalo muhla kulesikhathi sanyalo sitawubahlola etimakethe masibuya etimakethe lungelele ujoyinwa baka DSTV.
Lifestyle is about attitude, values, interests, and behaviors. And this is Eswatini Lifestyle, the show that shares stories of incredible people, events, businesses, and tastes that are meant to inspire Emaswati.
Be bold, be daring, be unforgettable, be passionate. Freedom lies in being bold. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Never lose opportunity of seeing anything beautiful. Eswatini Lifestyle is Eswatini's premium lifestyle magazine show. We aspire to inspire.
Welcome back. Asikubusele nawe lo sanza kuzivulela ubukela hlelo Kusile Breakfast Show. It's a Friday. Sikhuluma tona things about the World Cup njengoba nje kusele malanga lamabili kuphela ukuthi kube ne-official opening kanye ke nemidlalo wekuqala which will be Qatar against Ecuador. Sesivele sinaye lapha Sales and Marketing Officer Kethi Umhlongo losuka ka DStv banama specials ke labanawo khona ka DStv kuze manje accommodate abantu labatafisa ukubukela yona iFIFA World Cup. Good morning, welcome.
Hi Lulu, how are you?
Yeah, satisonza kakhulu things about the specials. Sekala special. Sijabula kakhulu especially because I think abantu abaningi they're looking forward to the World Cup this year. Kutabanele official opening on Sunday, so many artists to perform, Shakira, so really we have to watch. And of course the first game, Qatar against Ecuador, you know, just to give us the feel of what we can expect. TV.
I think, Lulu, words can't even comprehend how excited we are as a business because besikhomba kashane, ngathi November kashane, because it's June. We're literally 48 hours away before the biggest event in the world. So kusho nje ukuthi siyathi ukuthi ama customer atilungiselela ngato yonke indlela. Ema office ethu asakhona usisende njani. Siyazama ukuthi sisheshise because ema decoders wehlisile ngendlela lesimanga. Ema decoder uyathola nje HD yakho nga 399 uconnect subscriber yona le compact kuzokhona lokuthola wonke 64 games. Bengichazile ke before ukuthi multi choice utakhona ukulethela onke ema games oma 64 ale World Cup. Ngekwehlukana ukuthi na compact utawathola onke na ku family noma access utawathola half of those games. Lokinto kutoba khona lishintsho lotaba khona. I think ma customers aqale ayabona ukuthi emagama ema channels awasashintsha silungisela wona lo mkhosi wale World Cup. Nawe bojwayele ukuthi ubane EPL English Premier League seshintshe nyalo sekuthiwa FIFA World Cup Central. Ungathuki. Sendele nje sicebele for le World Cup ukuthi sendela ukuthi sisabukela kulo le World Cup isathi ukuthi ini sithola kuphi but vele nyalo kunalama build up kulama channels kusho ukuthi before ema World Cup lesibuya kuwo siqhamuka kuphi because it's always nice just to go down memory lane stokhona kubona ukuthi sikuphi but lengakusho ukuthi inkomishi ifikile Doha ilendile we can safely say at least yona seyifikile because two badlale onke ama teams sekafikile. That's a nice thing about it. Nebhola le official soccer ball sayibona bayilontsha a couple of months ago, and obviously bo Messi were the face to promote the soccer ball. Kune technology lenhle sesibuka sithi ibhola nje isabedlala ngale le World Cup kanti cha ke there's always a technology behind leyo bhola leyakhiwe nalama colors ukuthi asho ukuthini because kune information behind those colors kusho ukuthi it's the journey that Qatar took because they take it into consideration the heritage, the colors ala as a Qatar. So it's not just the soccer ball. So we pay homage to those type of things. I always say big ups to the ladies. Their spaces were being given a seat at the table. There's 32 referees that are going to be there, but 3 of those are going to be ladies. One she's going to be coming from Africa, Rwanda. One she's going to be coming from Japan. The other one she's coming from France. So even ladies, you know, they can be able to participate in such a huge platform because I mean, Epolin, what's the best thing after a World Cup? This is the biggest show, so it's good to see ladies, you know, being there. So hopefully the numbers will grow. But nje kwatisa nje balala emakhaya ukuthi nabe bosolo unga-understand ukuthi ayithola kuphi i-compact ngiyona itakulethela onke lama games nabe ufuna ngabe uva ngathi amasanda kalungu ikhona ifamily but utathola half of those games lokuyele ngikuthandile ukuthi mina ngishadile ne-Eswatini TV na ungayitholi kaSwazi TV utakhona kuyithola ka DStv. So either way you have 2 options longa khona kuyithola ngayo indlela yethu because yathi ukuthi Swazi TV kithi kuma decoder akaSwazi akaMathuswatini it's a free to air channel noma ngabe sekacishile lamanye ukhona kwabhadalela but Swazi TV ukhona so kude ukuthi utawulahlekelwa ngeke World Cup uyibukela utakhona kuyibukela. Nje kusho ukuthi i-World Cup angeke ngithi aka DStv yodwa noma SuperSport. This is an international event lengiba ngathi wonke umuntu osebhizinisini ungaba maybe une hotela une sports bar une restaurant. This is an opportunity for you as well ukuthi you know as by my patrons etakulenzawo yakho use the World Cup in order to just to bring you know the spirit of the World Cup. There's games that can be played. I know that we as DStv we're going to be our kickoff. We've partnered definitely Mtsimba Chisanyama where we're going to be. That's where the event is going to be. Yaqala ibhola nga 5 but yesithi manje ke an hour before because le build up yona imqoka letha khona kusicokela ukuthi manje ke kwenzakalani, what can we expect. I-World Cup ke thina bese ipheketela ngalenye platform DStv Africa on a podcast ka YouTube whereby even we have local representatives labafana nabo Patizwa Msibe who's a sports anchor la ka Swazi TV. We've got Tabiso Shabangwa VOC who's a sports anchor na Tabiso Langwenya ka SBIS. So kunema topics that discuss on a week on week basis kusho ukuthi which team can we look forward to this weekend. So bayashadiya obviously with other participants from the African market. So you find ukuthi Patizwa ngaba nemlishito wase Ghana wase Nigeria maybe wase Botswana discussing that particular topic. They'll be doing that kuze kuphelele World Cup. Kusho nje kwa customer ukuthi i-World Cup inokucala ngiyacela kubo mami nabo breadwinner bami ukuthi antikhethi ucela nisibolekele remote back but ke ungasabi because angisho ukuthi nabanmuka lama remote ngike ngisabukela kumelula i-TV yakho ngakhona kuyibukela ecingweni lakho ungadownloada i-app ya DStv now uvangathi ngidede uvangathi ayi angangabahlupha mphabami yebo ababukele bo Cocomelon ku the main TV kudingingi so ungadownloada i-app yakho ila ka DStv now onto your phone. The only thing that you need to do is just register faka igama lakho khetha umhlongo then ufaka le smart card number sakho sale decoder yakho le active ekhaya. Thereafter you're able to watch as long as you have access to i-Wi-Fi noma i-data you're able to catch any game. Ema games ngiyathi ukuthi ayafukana yes sicala ngale le Sunday le Qatar Ecuador but ke nani silandzela ama cousin ethu sabe siposta ukuthi ahamba kanjani up until iziphelele World Cup kusho ukuthi utokhona kubuka ukuthi ngiphi lofuna kuyibuka ne calendar sikhiphile onke lama fixtures ukuthi so ngakhona khetha because lo mnye umvuva ngathi mina vele ngithanza iMexico la yakho noma ngithanza iEngland siyatikile sikuthanzile nje ukuthi we have 5 representative countries from Africa. You know, it's always nice to stand behind our boys and hopefully at the end of the final one of those teams will be there. We're rooting behind them but they're all starting at 0. It's anyone's game. Okay. You know, may the best team win.
Alright, so ngifuna ukubuyisela emuva nje kancane Khetho. I think mhlambe nje kusiniketa nje just full clarity on lama specials ema decoders ngimaphi kahle kahle lama decoders la ku special and ukubuta nje ukuthi is there a possibility ukuthi mhlambe perhaps on the final game mhlambe nje nisivule lonke ama channels kuniketa lithuba loyo lobhadalela i-access kumbe nayo ikhanze sakabukela i-premium ngabe vele mhlambe nikubukile lokho kwenda because World Cup comes once in 4 years ngabe nikubukile lokho mhlambe ukuthi nijabulisa amakhasimende enu
Lulu ngiyafisa kuba mina ngi-fairy godmother but ke kukhona lesikwenile seMassachusetts wathi kwecala nje ema-decoders ethu angithu kunale HD decoder lapha sithi ukhona kubukela khona sithome sihlebe kwasasibhakabhaka bese kuba nalo ngci le-explorer lesadika ukuthi ke yona ke ya-recorder ya-rewinda yenda konke ngasesikhathi wakhanza ukuthi mhlawumbe ubambekile usemsebentini ungathi uyishiyele ekhaya utshele ukuthi nangisela emsebentini ibo-recordela futhi ungayirekhoda yonke le World Cup nona le-explorer but nangabe awufinyele kuba nayo kule HD siyathi usibehamba in-439 but now uya ema-ofisini aka-multi-choice kusukela lamuhla kuze kufika mhla 18 December utayithenga nga-400 uti-activate le package yakho kuthi noma ngabe ngiphi lo mkhosi we-World Cup ke ngiyatlo ukuthi ngibona umkhulu kakhulu siyesibonela ukuthi sivame kunakala ukuthi nase kutawona bayatilungiselela uthi ngaphela lo msebenzi we-World Cup bese kuvele ukuthi ngase cisha gesi bambo sebayahamba kahle ke kunakhona nomgodla lesitawumemedela mhla ka-19 December ukuthi yini lesikuphathele yona nawo customer la ka DStv ngede ngakhona kushonyana because ngede ngathele manje ku World Cup so emacustomer akaqiniseleke nje ukuthi noma ngabe World Cup iyaphela mhla ka-19 kune specialist abakhona lesithatha for Christmas la ngade ukuthi sitabajabulisa lula lesihamba cishe kulamagama lo akhuluma ukuthi kusene kwendeka somhlabeni standvulela ema channels la ngedulu but ngidawu confirma mhla ka-19 kusho ukuthi kutakwendeka but kwanyalo ngiba ngathi go out there to any sports job. Thenga nje le team lo favor ko mina nje le Ghana lami seliyeda ngiligadze ngalabo nalokuthi bengike ngakhuluma kulama ema shows ngathi le World Cup leni around Christmas kungaba njani ukuthi sesike sishintshe nendlela sidla ngayo Christmas ekhaya sikele kuthenga ama-tutu nema what sen decide nje ukuthi okay this year wento banejezi aseNgilandi lonto banejezi ase-United States nendaba yaseGhana kanjalo. Let's just use the World Cup and bring some excitement because angicabanga ukuthi i-World Cup yokuphiza ubibuya ngaNovember. This is the first of its kind, so we're excited about it. So just make use of it. Just kuthi mhlawumbe ngikhuthaze abosomabhizinisi because ngiyade ukuthi ngema weekend ibhola emnanzana bambukela nani ibukela nibaningi bangani. Ukhanza ukuthi siyafuna kuyachisa nyama but nasashaya ukuthi sesijake kuyobukela ibhola wena umuntu webhizinisi olahlekelwa imali kanti ama-customer kwebonayo le TV ngawuya khona ukuthi babukele akhona ke ama-packages alungisiwe emabhizinisi lashiphe kakhulu because kuthatha i-package yasekhaya lolu ufake ebhizinisini wena nje kwecala wena umuntu webhizinisi kuyakudulela. Wes-2 sowuphula imithetho yaka-multi choice thina kunama-packages alungiselela la khona ukuthola khona ama-super sport ngemanani laphansi because siya understand ukuthi it's a business establishment. So kunxusa nje ukuthi nabe uyangiva ngikhuluma namhla kuseni shala ka-multi choice utokhona kuthola ama-packages ngemanani laphansi lolu.
Alright, so banishala kuphi nje contact details niyatholakala yini futhi ka-Facebook social media?
Yes, and ningasithinza ama-office nasembabane siyatholakala ku-2404-8062 noma eGables sitholakala ku-2417-1149 nakamanzini siyatholakala 2505-9706. Available ke Facebook, all social media platforms ka Facebook sing DSTV Swaziland, ka Twitter it's @DSTV Eswatini, naka Instagram sikhona _DSTV Eswatini. Na ufuna kulandzela ukuthi kwendakalani asikaba khohla lolu labangayithandi ibhola ngoba nje lo mye sohlethu uyasho ukuthi nabo ke sebacela abantu bebhola labathandi labangayithandi ibhola nabo ema-shows abo siyakhona kwafaka kusho ukuthi ngimaphi ama-shows la khona nangakhona ukubukela bo redemption basasekhona sithi halala kuthaphelo kumhambele kahle kuma-idols bethu lo siwaphusha afike egcineni ikhona iSunday Sexy Love Cocomelon ukhona so ne-channel yakhe Moonbugs ngiyade bomake bebakhala ukuthi yey Cocomelon mambana sebafa so kune-channel yakhona ya Cocomelon so kunengi lokhona lokupheketela nje ama-customer ukuthi channel tawuvula ebambane anime sawumemedela ukuthi itovula nini lapho kutoba khona nama movies lesiwathandzako nje la animated mina nje ngiyadam le favorite izambezia ngeke ngithinde yangena lulu akuvele khohla ngihlala phansi so ukuthi stahle sivela sitokhona ukucocela ama customer ukuthi yini labangagatha sengiloko nje kwalamhla kusendlulo.
Alright, thank you so much Kethiwe sewakhulu ukuthi ube nathi lo muhla selesiyo nje indaba ye FIFA World Cup besikhulumisana naye sales and marketing officer ka DSTV Eswatini excuse me kushuta ukuthi ama decoders aku special especially HD decoder le being 440 emalangeni nyalo saying 400 emalangeni so ngabaxhumana nabo ka social media noma ke ubashayele ecingweni siselkhefu nasibuya sikhulumisana na communications officer walapha ekhaya Eswatini TV na Eswatini TV idabe broadcaster live iFIFA World Cup siselkhefu siyabuya khona manje.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax.
Ungabukela ke washa umkhukhu every Sunday at 3 p.m.
Welcome back. You're still watching Kusile Breakfast Show. Sikuvusele na ulo sanza kuzivulela solo sikhuluma ngayo iFIFA World Cup letabanjela eveni lase Qatar on Sunday. It is the official opening. Letaba ibanjela khona Al-Bayt Stadium. Solo sikhuluma tona indaba de World Cup nje ngoba Eswatini TV itabe broadcaster live imidlalo letaba ichubeka khona eveni lase Qatar ngaleso zafu ke kutaba ne change of schedule edinhlelo nentela pha ekhaya Eswatini. To talk more on that we have our communications officer Nompumelelo Dlamini ukuthi ngicela ukuthi kahle kahle ngidipulate inhlelo lokubheka ukuthi dishintshe Nkosi asekwemukele. Thank you so much for joining us today. Sikusele nje malanga la 2 kuphela sesivele sikiso Spirit se World Cup. We cannot wait. So but ke tindzaba tebhlungu kulabanye labangasi balance elibhola because kutaba nama changes nje tinhlelweni. Kumbe kusichazela nje ukuthi ngabe yini kahle kahle letawushintsha.
Angikubingelele Lulu ngiphindze ngibingelele naye umbukeli ekhaya. Ngukukhumbula nje ilungelele ukuthi every soccer fan is looking forward to the 20th being Sunday. Lo mnyuto sikusele 2 days mina sengibala ngema hour, it's just 48 hours to the FIFA World Cup 2022 kanzi ke sonke ke uyatilungelele ukuthi njengoba singumsakato nje sitabe sisakata lama games live, we are bringing them live and sitabe sisakata every day. Lokubhlungu ke vele ukuthi kunetinhlelo tethu letitawuma lungelelo letingeke tize bekhona up until the end of the World Cup, which means some of our programs will be at a halt up until the 18th of December, which is the final day. Loku tawutfokotisa kumbukeli Eswatini TV kumbe ke longu mthanzi webhola kakhulu ukuthi sisakata onke malanga. Tinhlelo tethu letitawutsinzeka lengathi nje kakhulu ukuthi umbukela ngakhathateka ngawo tindzaba ke tethu tona ngethatholakala nga7 but titawutfolakala at the end of each game every day up until kuze kuphelele imidlalo. And then kulandzela lokho ke lungelele leminye imidlalo kumbe nangabe umbukeli khona umdlalo latabe awugejile the previous day utawukhumbula ukuthi kuna Eswatini TV1 and Eswatini TV2. So for my repeated games kumbe nangabe awukayitholi ngayitolo utawukhona ukuthi uyibukele ku Eswatini TV channel 2 kulaba labana skutshana. Now, laba privy to that ngilaba nje labana skutshane laba subscriber ku DStv, unfortunately sitachubeka nje silolome nabo just each and every day. And then lokunye lungelele ngingafisa nje ukwatisa umbukeli lomunye kumbe utawatuka ukuthi nakukhona info kumbe lesisakata live siyayisibe nako also on YouTube. Unfortunately not with the World Cup. The World Cup yona ungakhona nje kuba privy kuyo only if you have our app, if you are not home and in front of your screen. So it will only be available live on the Eswatini TV app. So ngakutsata nje umbukeli ukuthi download i-app yethu nangabebeke set. And then kulandzela lokho lungelele lengingafisa nje ukumemetela lebe solo sikumemetela emalangeni lendlulile ukuthi angeke nje sigcine ngokuthi sitibukele lesodwana emakhaya kubomabona kutse wethu, but we also have what we call fan parks for the very first time in the kingdom of Eswatini. Sitabe siletha ama fan parks ezisasakata ibhola khona imidlalo lesitayisakata simikise khona esiveni yecala nje fan park itawuba mhla ka26 lapha endzabeni yase Prince of Wales bambisene naye masipala wedolobha lembabane. Kodwa nje singafiki kuleyo lomunye utothi njengoba ama games acala mhla ka20 which is a Sunday. Yes, le mhla ka20 yona sihambisana na UNICEF. UNICEF is celebrating what we call World Children's Day. So bona ke batabe babambe leyo Prince of Wales. Yes, siyaphekeletela nje singeSwatini TV, but our biggest one thine ngulo mhla ka26 sihambisana naye masipala wedolobha lembabane. Sitase sesilandzela ngokuthi siye edolobheni la seSimunye, sitabe seSimunye Country Club on the 3rd, and then from Simunye we'll be going to Manzini Club on the 10th of December, and then the last and final one will be on Sunday the 18th, which is the final game lesitabe sinayo. Kungaba kukhutsata nje umbukeli leyo phinzi futhi ibuye embabane. Kungaba kukhutsata nje ama soccer lovers ethu ukuthi hayi asingadivaleli etindlini, let's go out and celebrate this festival and I World Cup yethu sonke sikanye kanye in a bigger space.
Okay, I think umfangati buta nje kulama fan parks ngoze ukuthi gikhona yini entrance fee yini mhlambe lekubheka ukuthi etenayo angedinayo nasangena mhlambe le Prince of Wales yini nje mhlambe lawo requirements from soccer fans.
All right. Lokuthi awuthokotisa umbukeli lungelele ukuthi i-entrance imahala, so everyone has a chance to go in there and watch with us. Lokuhle ke kakhulu ukuthi kulama fan parks ethu, it's not just about soccer. We also have other corporates joining us. We have stalls dala tinye tinkampani letitabe tihambisana kanye nathi, and then we also have a kiddies corner, which means we basically have something like a family fun day. So for everyone in the family, ungamshiya umphane ekhaya but phuma nemndeni wakho utohlanganyela nathi, but ke kutabe kumahala lungelele umuntu nje noma kumbe umbukeli la ngakuphatha bonsumbulwane ukuthi atakhona kuthola lokuya ngasethunjini because kutabe kuthengiswa kudla khona lapho.
Okay, I think kwagcina nje ngosubutela labo bosomabhizinisi mhlambe osomabhizinisi labancane bangafise nabo kuyokhangisa ngekudla kwabo impahla nani sisekhona nivile sikhala sokuthi bangakhona kubhadala bayo nakukhangisa
ngingakhuthata nje bosomabhizinisi labangafisa kuhambisana nathi ilungelo ukuthi isikhala sisekhona available nguloyo muntu longafisa kuhambisana naye Eswatini TV angathinta lona litiko la marketing shokuthi umuntu kumbe ngelicinga ngasishayela ku 2411 9600 acele ukuthi bamxhumanise na marketing angachubeka lapho.
All right, thanks so much Smakhulu Nkosi kuba nathi lo muhla mbukele sothi vele tindzaba letimnanzi tindzaba tema fan parks ayaqala on the 26th of November Prince of Wales lapha eMbabane tabo khona on Sunday basekele ichutshwa ngenhlangano yakwa UNICEF ibambisene nawo umsakade Eswatini TV bathi nje tindzaba letimnanzi ukuthi nasi sidabe si broadcaster lemidlalo khona lapha ekhaya Eswatini TV ucizelele lapha dudle ukuthi ke angeke itholakale ka YouTube njengenjwayelo ukuthi etinye indlela yatholakala kepha ke kumele ukuthi unesiqiniseko ukuthi unasigujana noma unayo Eswatini TV app. Let's take a break. Nasibuya sidakhuluma satindzaba temidlalo.
Ungabukela ke washa umkhukhu every Sunday at 3 p.m.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It is 45 minutes after 7 this Friday morning, and right about now I am joined in studio by our in-house sports journalist Fabrice Musonera. Fabrice, this is the most exciting segment, especially because 2 days away from the FIFA World Cup. Fabrice, ufuna nje kubatshela kuthini lababukela Eswatini TV ngoba phela simbonile nalo sabambe kubanga CEO itolo abethulela ukuthi it is true. I confirm Eswatini TV will be broadcasting the FIFA World Cup.
I mean, if you're talking about, delivering, meeting the viewers at the point of their need, this is the moment. I mean, we're talking about it's no more 48 hours. We're talking about less, someone would say 42, somehow there.
Yeah.
But what an exciting moment, Actually, before I came in here, I was just confirming that all the 32 teams have actually landed in Qatar. Talk about what Eswatini TV will be bringing for you. We're talking about the games. The games will be live on Eswatini TV. The acting CEO, Mr. Andreas Lamin, highlighted yesterday in the press conference, which I think already the viewers also have been informed also on a regular basis. We're talking about best games.
Yeah.
You're wondering now, can I get, your Senegal, can I get your Brazil, your Cameroon? Every day from Sunday up to the 18th of December, there's an exciting game, the best game of the day. Remember, the World Cup now, there's a moment where in the first, days of the group stages, they play many games per day. So every day there's a big game. So on that day, Eswatini TV selects a game, the best for you. Now, we've got 5 African countries that are representing us. Yeah. All those 5 countries will be live on Eswatini TV. Talk about Ghana, Senegal, Morocco, Tunisia, and you also have to talk about, Cameroon.
Yeah.
An exciting point that viewers now have to understand is that it's for the very first time African countries have won to the World Cup. All the teams are coached by African coaches. So it's a time for Africa. Songs have been released. We've been playing them just to let the viewers know that, this is what's happening. Now, the crew that will be in charge of giving you the World Cup information and everything is the crew that you normally have on your sport shows, myself included, my colleagues, Linda Dlamini and the likes of Patricia Msibi.
Yeah.
But we are not going to be alone because we'll be joined by legends of the game in the Kingdom of Eswatini. When you talk about the legends of the game, there are names that we cannot leave behind. The likes of Caesar Dlamini. Majority, they know him as King Pele. We're talking about someone who has the know-how of the local football, the technical director of the Eswatini Football Association, Mr. Bizam Konda. You also have to talk about some of the well-known faces, Bo Madida. He's played for some of the best clubs in the country.
Yeah.
He has also been establishing himself as one of the best analysts. You talk about a lot of analysts that are becoming your Tony. Some of the current players, Tony Titi Tsabetse, he's played at the highest level in South Africa. He'll be in the studio giving you the analysis. These are the players, I would say, they give you the perspective as a player in that position. This is what I would do. So I don't have to say it because I'm hardly in the field of play. But someone who's been in the field of play like Caesar, someone who is almost every day in the field of play like Tony Tsabeze, will give you a true reflection. So it's live on Eswatini TV. First game is on Sunday, host nation Qatar against Ecuador, and it's going to be here live on Eswatini TV, 6 p.m. That's the kickoff. But prior to that, there's that 1 hour of analysis where we interact with that panel, just giving you the analysis.
Are we seeing the legends join you guys on the first analysis later an hour before the first game?
Yes. For instance, if I'm in the studio, as an anchor, I'm joined by the two analysts who are the legends. In some cases, I could be joined by Caesar and Tony. In other cases, I could be joined Madida. I could be with Biza Boy Mkonda. There are many. I can go on. So every hour prior to the kickoff, the entire hour is based on analysis. If the kickoff is at 5 o'clock, the analysis. What do you want to know about Qatar? They are the host nation. What are they bringing in the tournament? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Ecuador, same things. These guys are the legends of the game. They give you the perspective. What do you want to know? But all nations, all the African nations, you will get them here live on Eswatini TV.
Such a beautiful and thoughtful thing of Eswatini TV to do, not just to broadcast the games, but to give you the whole experience with regards to analysis and bringing in legends. Fabrice. But Fabrice, the word on the street is you have been selected as one of the MCs for what has been dubbed fan parks. What are fan parks? Again, just for the benefit of the viewer, a comprehensive
analysis of the fan parks.
What a fan park is. What will you be doing?
Fan parks is, you and I have, we can sit in the house and watch football, but then we don't get that excitement that we can get if we're out there in the public. So it's a selected area where there is a huge screen, where there is that ambience, that outreach where people come together, fun-filled day on a huge screen. We watch the game together. We see that. I think some of the people who have been exposed to other countries, like during the 2010 FIFA World Cup, you saw that it was happening mostly in South Africa in different places. So we sit in one area. Like, I'll give an example of Prince of Wales this Sunday. Huge screen in front of the supporters. They come in their numbers for free. You don't have to. You are not going to be charged for you to come at the stadium. When you come in, you can bring your own drinks. We sit with your own food. You can bring your own colleagues, friends, family, children, sisters, parents, and everyone. We sit, we discuss football on the screen. So majority of the job that I'll be conducting or driving is to interact with people. We here, we're together. Let's get their views. Let's hype them. Let's tell them why we're here. Because we can't always sit in the studio. Not to say that it's bad, but we need to reach to people and give them that assurance that it's here, it's happening. So being selected, it's a pleasure for me. But I'm there just to tell people that, you know what, it's the World Cup. But on top of the World Cup, Eswatini TV is bringing you now on the street. Just go. Enjoy your day. You don't have to be charged. Music is there. Some of the selected DJs in the country, will be, in selected areas. For this Sunday, I think we'll be at Prince of Wales. UNICEF is having a commemoration of International Days. And next week Sunday, on the 27th, there's another big day as well at Prince of Wales, where I think on social media it's been posted that we'll be also joined by some of the well-known faces in the music industry. the likes of Super CDQ, Zuluti, all those. No, we're joined by the public. It's free. Bring your own food and drinks and everything. The screen is there. You share the experience with people. Where at some point, maybe people in the studio, while the game is ongoing, they can also catch up with me to say, Feb, tell us where you are.
Yeah.
What are the people saying? What is the interaction saying? But that's not the only thing, because apart from Prince of Wales, people from Simonyi will be wondering, are you also reaching to us? We'll be getting to Simonyi at some point. We'll be going to Manzini at the hub at some point. We'll be going to different parts of the country, because it's not about our Mbabane, it's about the nation. It's about reaching everyone in the country. So for the duration of the 30 days, we'll be visiting all these areas to ensure that people are informed and aware of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. One country to watch out, Senegal, for the continent.
Fabrice, you've expressed everything and answered all the questions that I had for you. But Fabrice, what I love about what you've just said right now, the fan park experience, I can just imagine it right now. You feel like you are in Qatar yourself. You feel like you are in a stadium.
That's the beauty about it.
So when I can encourage somebody, I see in like my fan park, the experience. We are ushering in the holiday season to be amongst
the festive, yeah.
To be amongst Jablile and to be there with your family, Fabrice.
It's a beautiful thing, because one thing I will tell you is that whenever now the game starts, so you've got that moment where whatever you want to share as an opinion, you would think, no, that's an offside. There's someone next to you. It's a fan pack. What do you guys think? The ambience, it goes on. The fun goes on. So it's the beauty of that is that we come together in a space, a huge space, where we share the game of football. So one thing also I want to highlight is that, we will also ensure that as a viewer, when you're sitting at home, we want to ensure that you also, if you couldn't reach the fan park, but we are home. So Eswatini TV brings you that attachment to say, I can watch this game on the screen. These guys are giving me what I want. I'm telling you, we've got some of the best directors here, Lakaya, who are conducting some workshops to just guide them to say, you know what, this is the hour prior to the kickoff. This is what you want you to tell the viewers. So I'm telling you that besides not only bringing the World Cup, but we want to bring the viewers' attention to say, you know what, it's a know-how. You don't want to know the World Cup paid. That's what you want to know. But at the end of the day, it's time for Africa. It's time for the World Cup. It's the 2022. And my country, if you want to know my opinion, my country, do you want to know the country I'm going with?
Yeah? France?
No.
Brazil?
No.
Argentina?
No.
And then you're losing?
No.
By the way, Fabrice, what country are you rooting for?
Do you want me to tell my country?
Is it an African country?
Not an African country.
Tell me.
It's an European country.
Tell us.
It's the German machine.
German machine, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not too bad. Not too bad a choice there. Fabrice, let's go back to the fan park just before we wrap up. We have about 3 minutes. You have mentioned that there will be no age restrictions. Anybody can just come through and enjoy the fun experience. As it says, it's a fun experience. How do you want to implore the people that will come and be a part of this experience to handle themselves? I'm sure you don't want scene, but you don't want anything that our messenger say it's not a fun experience.
That is one aspect also that is being worked on. Security has been enforced. When I talk about an open age for everyone, in as much as I'm not saying a 5-year-old will walk in by herself or himself, and obviously if he or she is accompanied by a guardian, then it's better. So I'm not saying he or she should go home, but I'm talking about now the experience of behavior also goes with security. Security is going to be ensured. No one is going to limit you to say, don't scream. You have that right to scream. But so you can't get violent while you're screaming. So you can, but positively. But negatively, we have security na you know what, let's have fun. We're not here for any other emotions. But security will be ensured to ensure that whatever you do, your beverages, whatever you drink, we're not saying don't drink the other drinks. We can drink them responsibly, of course, but it's all about fun. It's all about meeting you at the point of your needs as a viewer.
So thank you so much, Fabrice.
Thank you very much.
Fabrice Musonera, our in-house sports journalist in Mbutenje, 2 questions, and he answered about 12 questions, even the ones that I hadn't asked yet. That's Fabrice for you. But anyway, that's the excitement around the FIFA World Cup. As an MC, you can already tell how passionate he is. So I implore Gwanana Minje, as the host of Kusile Breakfast Show, Tenini, asiye Legma Fan Park, Gwanana Mutangtola, Nilapang enjoy football. Asasi ba Shlolet Magete, Masbuya, we are going to wrap up the show with Lungelele.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. I have an excitement vele ukuthi no sesivele sesiye World Cup. Fabrice Vedelo ukuthi ufavor Germany. When what is your team?
Ngiyamtshela lo ukuthi ufavor kahle nencenye ukuthi awabone ama quarter finals. But nje kutawuphelela lapho lungelele mina yangathi.
Awuyithembi kahle Germany.
Angithembi kahle. Ngikhuluma nabo producer bethu ngale ba busy bangitshela ngabo Brazil nabo France. Nanyalo ngitshela wena lungelele it's Argentina. I know that when I favor France.
I'm so long it's France. Anyway, we'll see you on Sunday at Prince of Wales. Sisembukuthi ngidawuphuma ngebuningi benu sihambe sobukela yona i-opening ye FIFA World Cup. We'll see you on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend and sale kahle.
Happy weekend. Bye bye.